Scott is here. Phil is the host of the Advice Show TV on YouTube. And I've interviewed Phil a couple times, I think, and he's been very, very interesting. He's in L.A. First of all, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Jess. How you doing?
And so all is well. What you doing in L.A.?
I'm actually going to the VidCon convention at the Anaheim Convention Center.
Oh, I see.
So that's what brought me out here.
That's amazing. I never imagined one day you'd be sitting in my studio.
I didn't imagine that either.
You and I don't agree on anything, right?
We agreed to sky blue.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, welcome to L.A.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm glad you're here. First of all, I have a short soundbite I want to get to in a minute here, but just a little bit about you. Are you a Christian?
No, I wouldn't consider I'm Christian. No, I'm a servant.
You're what?
I'm a servant.
What's a servant?
Someone who serves the will of God and his people.
And did you become a servant without becoming a Christian?
That's something that I feel the word Christian is a made-up name, so I feel servant is the best way to be.
And do you believe in God?
Oh, yeah.
You believe in God. Have you ever been a Christian?
I considered myself Christian at one point in time.
And why did you consider yourself a Christian then?
Didn't know no better.
How did you become a Christian then?
Just raised up in the Baptist church, with family, and there's just a tradition.
Your parents were Christian, and so you're walking down the road, and one day you decided, I don't want to be a Christian.
No, it's just a lot of things that's attached to that. For me, especially in this country, it's not what I feel is the right way. I feel being a servant and following the scriptures the best way you can. Not say you're perfect. Serving the people and being humble, I feel is the best way to go.
What is it about Christianity you don't like?
It's not Christianity itself. It's what I feel the American form of Christianity is what I can't get along with, and I feel the majority of the black community can't get along with. But the only problem I have with the black community kind of cross-referencing the American version of Christianity versus, let's say, more so what the scriptures will say, do and to apply to your life.
Is there another version of Christianity somewhere in the world that you like?
I don't really attach myself to that word. I feel you follow the scriptures and serve, and that's the best way to be. Give
us an example of something that the black people can't relate to or get concerning Christianity, the American version of Christianity.
Oh, we could take something just very similar to, let's say, don't kill. Let's say that. Now, yes, we have issues in the black community where we have black people killing each other.
Blacks are killing more than anybody else on earth.
Nah, don't know. Let's not go there.
At least in America, blacks
not go there.
So they're not having a problem with don't kill.
Oh, no. Let me tell you something. Black people could never catch up with those who are in power who have killed, and they still killing to this day.
But what do you mean that black people in America have a problem with don't kill thing?
People, when I say they have a problem, now, of course, you got criminals in every group, okay? And those who in our community who's doing that, a lot of them are lost, and they need help, a lot of them. And that's kind of why I take it. But we're talking about the decent people who are and used to be consider themselves Christian and think the basic thing is the 10 Commandments. I'm just using one like killing, lying, stealing, etc. Right? We're not seeing that reciprocated in society by those who say they are Christian and they are in leadership, because black people are not in leadership. So when you see people who say they're Christian, but yet it's okay to give an excuse to killing people sanctioned by the government, like a police officer, or let's say you're looking at a lot of things that people, even in society, Joe Public, would say, oh, well, they must have deserved it. Like, well, no, you shouldn't say people deserved it, right? You're supposed to be a so-called Christian, and it's not your room to say somebody should live or die, correct? So it's so many things. I'll have to take 2 hours explaining that to you.
But the reason that black people can't see it because they lead in the way in breaking all of the commandments.
You serious, Jesse Lee?
That's a heart attack.
And who taught them to break the commandments?
Their lack of good parenting.
And how did they get a lack of good parenting?
The blacks have turned away from God. They don't, most black people, not all, but most black people do not believe in God. How do you know you believe in God?
Because I believe in God. That's
How do you
something
know
only,
that?
That's something only me and God could relate to. I mean, it's nothing I could show you on a litmus test of my beliefs or not. That's within my heart.
So there's nothing in you that can show to me or anyone else that you believe in God.
Pretty sure if you look at my life and some things that I do and some things I hold myself back from, it'd be evident of that.
But right now you can't think of one thing that that you could show me that implies that you believe in God.
Well, I'm not really used to trying to prove to mankind my beliefs.
Do you love white people?
If those that are decent, I mean, I respect all people, but I can't. But I'm also focused on the love of my community.
Do you love white people?
I respect all people, but I have to focus more on my love of my community because of the crime you're talking about, because of the self-hatred, because of those who are lost, for those who are hurting. They need the love more so than anything. So I have to focus on that. I can't focus on other groups. I have to focus on what we do.
Do you love white people?
I respect everybody, but I have to focus more love on my community.
Do you love white people?
And you keep asking the same question.
Because you're not answering the question.
I say I respect all people.
But that's not the question.
Well, I can't love people I don't know.
That's not the question.
But that's the answer.
Do you love white people?
I respect anybody.
But I'm not asking you if you respect.
Okay.
I'm asking if you love them.
What is it important if I love them or not?
I'll tell you once you answer me. Do you love white people?
I don't know them to have a love for them like that anyway.
Do you
I respect all people.
Do you know all black people to have a love for them?
I don't know all of them, but I have a respect for them and I understand their history, and they do need a lot of love. And you talk about this a lot, that they need a lot of love and forgiveness and forgiving parents and all that comes from a lack of love.
Do you love all black people?
I love my community.
How about all black people?
There's some black people that I don't even want to talk to. If those that's out here killing black people, and those who are dealing poison to black people, those who are doing evil, I have no love for them. No, I don't.
How about white people? You love all white people?
I respect them.
But not love them?
I can't say I love them. I say I respect them.
Do you love your enemy?
No.
Oh, then you don't love God.
Okay, well, that's your opinion.
You don't believe in him and you don't love him because it's impossible to believe in God and not love all people, even your enemy.
Okay, well,
and
at the end of the day, when I'm judged, I holler at God about that.
Well, no, I'm telling you now, before you die, he doesn't want you to wait until you die. It'll be too late.
Well, put it like this.
Because
God hates evil.
God,
okay, you know good and well God hates evil, Jesse. He hates it. So I should never love evil. I should never love anyone who commits evil, whether it's in my particular community or anyone outside my community. I should never love evil.
If you don't love white people, and if you don't love your enemy, and if you don't love all black people, you love no one. You don't love God.
That's your opinion.
No, that's a fact.
Well, thank God we don't live on your facts, because that is a complete
Those are not
opinion.
my facts. Those are his facts. Do you go by the Bible?
For the most part.
Not all the way.
Okay. Well, what's the point of that?
What do you mean by for the most part?
But what is the purpose of the line of questioning?
What do you mean? Because I want to get to the soundbite. What do you mean by for the most part?
I follow the most part that I can apply to my life, and I say I fall short like anybody else, but I would do my best.
Have you read in the Bible to love your enemy?
I read that.
You omitted that, though? You threw that out?
I've read that, but also God hates evil, and I should never love evil.
So when you read love your enemy, you're like, God hates evil. I'm not going to love my enemy.
Well, this country don't love their enemies, do you?
And that's why you don't love yours?
But do you tell this country to love their enemies?
No, I'm asking, that's why you don't love your enemy, because you think that the country don't love its enemies?
No, I don't love no enemy because they're doing evil things. And I'll explain to you that a lot of people do evil things that I don't get down with.
Amazing. Do you do evil things?
I don't feel I do.
Do you?
I don't feel I do. Do you do evil things?
Do you ever do evil things?
Do you do evil things?
No, I'm asking you that first. You're my guest.
Okay. Well, I don't feel I do anything evil.
No, not that you feel that way.
Well, that's the only way I can answer you, Jesse.
But don't you know yourself? You would know if you
and I know myself enough to tell you I'm not doing evil things.
You don't do evil things?
No.
Okay. Do we have time for the soundbite? 20-1?
If you go to it right now.
Okay, I want you to hear this soundbite from your show.
Okay.
This is from the Field Advice Show TV. Field addresses Pat Robertson. Here we go.
Pat Robinson. Come on, man. You talking about the Bible, which I know you're not capable of following the Bible. I've definitely figured that portion out, because you're not standing up against racism and white supremacy, then you're not a Christian.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So you accuse Pat of not standing up against so-called racism or white supremacists, so-called white supremacists,
Right.
but you don't love all white people.
Don't know them all, too.
So you feel good judging Pat?
Oh, yes, I do.
How about, do you judge yourself for being wrong?
Yes, I judge myself all the time. I'm the hardest judge
So
on
do
myself.
you know that you're wrong for not loving all white people?
Why? Do you know the world's outside of just white people, right?
No,
I can understand you
answer
say you
that
love
question.
people in the world.
When I come back, I want to respond to that. We're going to take a few calls.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Back in a moment. So Phil Advice is here in studio with me. And Phil, so you want Pat Robertson to deal with white supremacists and racism, right?
Yeah.
And what do you want him to do?
I want him to speak up against it.
And where is white supremacism or racism? Where does that exist?
It exists in definitely all over this country, every institution in America that has white control and domination. And it's about white power. It's not about equality.
And where's the proof of that?
You just look at the different things in society that they control. Like, no non-white people in this society don't control the 9 areas of activity. They don't control, like, Dr.
They don't
Neely
control
Fuller.
what?
They don't control the 9 areas of activity spoken by Dr. Neely Fuller, like, for instance, black, just people outside
What
of
are
white.
the 9 areas of activity?
Okay, they don't control economics, but black people don't control that. They don't control entertainment. They don't control politics whatsoever. They don't control war. They don't control labor.
So let me ask, prior to the civil rights movement,
Okay.
black people made their own money, they bought their own land, they did their own thing, they were financially wealthy, but they decided somehow or another to give it up and become reliable on the government to take care of them. And then they decided not to think for themselves, but to allow the so-called civil rights leaders to think for them. And they decided to make truckloads of babies out of wedlock, so the black man left at home. If black people didn't have 77% of black babies were not born out of wedlock by black women who were born in this country, if the black man stopped acting like women and complaining about what the white man is doing and become men, get married, raise their children, provide, would the economic situation change for black people?
You asked about 12 different questions, and you, that's a so loaded of a question. You have to break that
So
back
loaded?
down. I said it's a loaded question.
How's that loaded?
You touch so many topics that each one of your responses deserve a particular answer.
If black
so
people,
let's go back to what you were
let's
saying
do
prior.
number one. Let's do number one. If black men stop sitting around complaining about
No,
the
let's
white
go back
man,
to what you said at first about black people.
I'm gonna work
in
my
the
way
past.
down to that. If black men stop acting like little wimpy black women and complaining about what the white man has or don't have or do for them or won't do, and become men, if they got married and fathers and mothers become decent people and raise their children, would the economic situation change?
No.
It would not change.
Even if people do exactly what you're saying, I'm just, and people know me, I'm just going along with you right now because nobody cares who have what or whatever. Everybody just want equality. Everybody I know want jobs. They don't want I don't even promote the government assistance. Black people don't need government assistance at all. They need jobs. They need businesses.
But why don't you people create your own job?
Who's you people?
The black men. Instead of
Are you a
begging,
black man?
If you believe that the white
Hold on,
man,
Jesse, are you a black man?
Yeah, but I'm not
Okay,
a part
because you
of
said you. What do you mean you're not a part of it?
I'm not a part of that black helpless victimhood thinking. I'm an
Me either.
independent man. I don't identify with any of that mess.
But you're still a black man, right?
But let me ask. Why is it that black men, like all other races of men, why don't you stop begging the white man to give you a job and all that, instead build your own job?
I promote that. I promote doing for
No, you're
yourself.
not. You're blaming the white man don't give you work.
What did you
You're
say?
saying the white man won't give you a job.
I said promote jobs. I didn't say give me a job. I believe in doing for yourself. I believe in creating your own businesses.
Why
That's
do you
what I
need the
promote.
white man to promote jobs? Why don't you promote them? What's different about the white man than you?
Oh, let's see. He stole everything he has. He got 246
What has he
years.
stolen from you?
A free labor from black people.
What has
black
he
people
stolen
built
from
this
black
country.
people today?
Oh, he stole our culture. He stole our language. He stole our heritage. He stole our labor. He murdered and slaughtered our children, our babies, our women, our men. Do we need to continue? Stole inventions that we couldn't patent because
What's
they
your
created
language?
a patent office.
What's your language that they stole?
The different African dialects they stole. We didn't come here speaking English.
But white people speak English. They don't speak African dialect.
So,
They hate that mess.
when we came off the ships, we didn't speak English, so you stole our language.
What do you mean they stole it?
They wouldn't allow you to speak it, and they'll beat the hell out of you or kill you.
So you
stole
came
it.
off the ship speaking black stuff?
What is black stuff? It's African language.
Yeah, you came off the ship speaking that.
My ancestors did.
What's preventing you from speaking it now? All you do, go learn it and speak it. No one cares.
Because what's preventing me from speaking it now? Because number one, we lived in a colonized society. We speak a colonized language, and so
How
unfortunately,
come-
we have to teach our children English.
You know, why is it that black men such as yourself don't feel embarrassed publicly complaining about white men and how they hold you back? And you got all these excuses. Normal men don't have excuses.
That's funny, normal men. I would love to hear your explanation of normal men. But the thing is this.
Men who are not like
no,
women.
we should be embarrassed about, Jesse, is calling Donald Trump the great white hope. What you should be embarrassed about is
Why should I be embarrassed by that?
asking a black man, do you love white people only and no other group of people? I can understand if the question would have been, hey, you love, everybody throughout the world. You love all, mankind. I don't understand the question, but you always home on that. White people, white people, white people. Do you believe racism exists?
No, it doesn't exist. It's a made-up lie.
Really?
It has never existed. And you hear this coming from a guy who, I grew up in Alabama. I grew up under the Jim Crow laws. And during those days, black men and women were not whimpering and whining and begging because they were truly children of God for the most part. And they knew that it was good and evil, and that there were good white people and bad white people, good black people and bad black people. And the Jim Crow law was a government law created by the Democrats. It wasn't all white people. It's only lately that black men been acting like women, complaining about the white man.
Well, why did you tell that liberal white woman that got in your face that she was a racist? Why did you say that?
You're not asking about questions. You're a racist.
I just said
You are a
black
racist.
people have the right.
You're a racist.
I am not
You
a
hate
racist.
black people.
I'm not a racist. I've had black men living in my house my entire life.
No.
So don't you dare
You
insult
hate
me.
black
I
people.
do not.
That was at, good question. That was at the Second Amendment rally, and those people are against the Second Amendment. And they used the liberals, the children of the lie, meaning the liberal media, the Democrats, the right-o Republican, others. They use racism to manipulate, control, and put fear in white people. So I turned it on her.
But I thought
to
racism
see
don't
how-
exist.
I
So
turned
how could you turn it if it don't exist?
because I would give her own medicine.
So you
Yeah.
believe? So
You don't know
at
what
that
that mean?
moment, you making everyone believe that racism exists. Because you should have been the first one to say racism don't exist. Can you preach it every day?
No, I did it the way it should have been done. I switched it on the lie, the liars.
So you use racism when you need to, but
You don't
on your
understand that?
audience, your audience, you pander and say racism
No,
don't exist.
no.
But you tell a white woman who is treating you like a black man at that point in time, treating you like a black man.
What does that mean? You treating me
But,
like
because she was talking to you any kind of way. The white people, they were letting them get away with all kind of stuff. When you came around, they were treating you different. And
I
that's
don't
why
care
you
about
call,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's why you say she's a
black
racist.
people treat me worse than any white person on this side of heaven. Most, not all, but most black people are angry. They're nasty. They have no sense of self-respect or moral respect. They are whiners and whimpers, and
So how do they
that's
treat
why-
you bad?
That's
I
why
want to
they-
know how they treat you bad.
They call me names and they attack.
They call
and
me names, too.
And they threaten and they
They threaten.
just have
I've
no
gotten
class.
threats. I've gotten
But
threats
let me
from
do
black
this.
people, white people, everybody.
Let me do this. You're married, right?
Okay, we're not going to go there.
No,
about my
you are
family.
married.
Yes, but
No,
that's
it's not about
that's
your family. It's about you. You're married.
Yes,
Are you the head of your wife?
I am the leader of my household.
Are you the head of your wife?
I'm the leader of my household.
I'm not asking about the household. Your wife is not the household. Are you the head of your wife? You say you
Yes.
believe in God.
Yes, I do. Jesse, we're not going to go there again. Every time I come on here, you say that. I say, I lead my household. My wife, we discuss things that she follows, the leadership. If I'm about to do something that's maybe screwed up, she said, hey, I think that's kind of
What
screwed
would
up.
happen if
Jesse, let me answer your question. If I'm about to do something screwed up, she tell me a lot of times she's right when I'm about to screw something up because I'm not perfect. Some things she's better at than me, but she follows the leadership and guidance of what, we want to follow in
So
my
you're
household.
not the head of your wife.
Jesse, if you say leadership, what is a leader?
I didn't ask about leadership.
Jesse, my God. Okay, Donald Trump, he's the leader of America, so what that makes him?
The great white hope.
Jesus Christ.
I want to hold you over for a few minutes and take some calls. Do you mind?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Back in a moment. There's no such thing, and never has been, racism, sexism, homophobia-ism, Islamophobia-ism, no isms. It's either right or wrong, good or evil. Our battle is a spiritual battle. It has nothing to do with physical. Phil is here, and Phil is the host of the Phil Advice Show. And he's in town today, so we have him in studio. I want to hold him over to take a few calls. Phil, do you believe that there's such a thing as homophobia-ism?
No,
Do you agree with homosexuality?
I don't agree with it. No.
Is it wrong?
Scripturally, yes.
How about what's happening at our borders right now? The illegal aliens are trying to come into our country, and they want to bring all the children, and we don't want that to happen. Are you in support of illegal aliens coming across the borders?
No, I'm not, but there's a better way to do that. There's a better way to do it, what you're seeing now.
What's the better way to do it?
Well, we already have laws on the books that can stop a lot of that, and without going to this extreme measure that we're seeing right now with children being separated.
What do you mean, children being separated from
well,
what?
come on, Jess. We looking at the news where kids are being separated from their parents, and
You think that's wrong?
Yeah, that's wrong.
How about the American citizens who commit crimes and have children? They go to jail, leave their kids behind. Is that wrong?
When they commit crimes, that do happen, but they're actually committing a crime, and these people are coming for running from MS-13, because a lot of these countries, they run from the same MS-13 that Trump's talking about, a lot of them running from MS-13. But if you want to solve illegal immigration, I want to solve it with you. I feel that illegal immigration has, talking about the black community aspect, it has affected the black community. We don't have sanctuary cities for black people. We don't have sanctuary states for black people. We have no city or state that we can go to and not worry about being dealing with racism, crooked cops, or whatever else.
But I want to know, when Americans commit crimes and they have children, the adult goes to jail. The father or the mother, whomever commit the crime,
Right.
go to jail. Is that wrong to separate them from the children?
Well, usually the court system put them with another family member, the child. They put in with another family member. They look for someone, and that child goes to that family member while that particular person is incarcerated. With this situation, these children aren't going to another family member. They are just being separated and put in, look like internment camps. I've seen the pictures, and the parents are, from what I just heard this morning, the parents are being deported and the kids are staying here. My thing is, you want to deport people, keep the parents with their children, and then if you're going to deport them, then deport them.
I want to restate the question. When adults in America who have children
Correct.
commit a crime, whether it's the
Correct.
mother or the father, they go to jail and leave the children behind. Is that wrong?
Do they leave the children behind? Yes, they leave the children behind, and those
Is it
children
wrong?
are Jesse, and those children are not put in camps like we seeing now. They are given to by the courts to another family member, or possibly placed in the foster care system.
You're
Now,
not
if they was
answering my
doing that,
question.
Jesse, then that'll be a different situation.
But you're not answering my question.
I answered your
Is
question.
it wrong to put the American citizen who are parents in jail when they commit a crime and leave the children
That's
behind?
not the issue, Jesse. It's what's
That
happening
is
to
the
the
issue.
kids.
That's what's happening at the border.
The kids aren't being transferred to either a family member
So you
or
can't
just
answer
going
that
with
question?
the parents. No, Jesse, you like the people to answer it the way you want it to be
I
answered.
want the truth.
I'm giving you my
So
truth.
is it wrong? You say you believe in God, so give me God's
God,
truth.
we talking to Jesse and Phil. God is not sitting here answering this question. It's Jesse Lee.
So you're not representing God today?
I'm representing myself today.
but not God.
I'm representing myself today. Are you
So-
representing God?
Yes,
Really?
yes,
You are.
yes. I'm a son of God, and I represent Him at all times. But you don't, apparently.
Okay, Jesse. All right.
Amazing.
The word.
So you're not going to answer that question. Let me just say welcome to the YouTube Live. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. And there, Mama. And I do appreciate it. Let's see here. I think I have a question for somebody on YouTube Live. Oh, someone want to know, this is from live chat. Rabbit, Skipper asked Jesse, what's the obsession with saying you're the head of your wife? Because that's the order of God. And there's a God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, woman over children. And love come from above all the way down, not from below up. And so if the role reverses, that's not happening. And that's why you have so many problems. Let me go to Dennis out of Littleton. Is it New Hampshire? Littleton, New Hampshire. Dennis, thank you for calling. You're on with Field Advice.
I have a question for your guests. I have a big problem with this white supremacy debate. And I know it's all about the black people have an advance due to slavery. I get it all. That's where it comes from.
I don't get that. They're lying.
Well, I know. But listen now. Here's my question to him. Let's roll back the hands of time. Before the Europeans settled this continent, the black people that were in the continent of South Africa, where would they be today? What would their position be? Better off or worse off had this country not been discovered? That's my question.
They would be better off, actually.
I beg your pardon?
They'd be better off.
Okay, so what's the issue with white supremacy? White people did found the nation. The founders were white. I get that. There was no black people in the paintings.
No,
I understand all that.
They didn't find
But that
anything.
was
They
the
it was
demographic
already
at that
discovered
time.
while I was here.
Slavery
They came and
Hold
they
on, one at a
slaughtered
time.
people.
Hold on. Dennis,
Millions of
go ahead. Finish your
Go ahead.
question real fast.
millions of people died for it, and you're free. Have at it. The one thing I missed from your whole discussion with Jesse is the fact that the black person now has opportunity.
No, we
What
don't.
gave him the opportunity?
No, we
This
don't.
country.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Our life could be taken at any given moment. It don't matter who you are.
By
so we
other
ain't
blacks.
free. By definitely white supremacy.
No, more black people killing you than white people ever thought of killing you.
Oh no, they haven't.
No.
No, they haven't.
That's not true. You're not being honest.
I am being honest.
You're saying more white people killing you than blacks.
Yes.
That's Phil.
Yeah.
I thought you believed in
That's
God.
a lie.
No,
not
that
true.
is
That's
the
an
truth.
out-and-out lie.
You're killing us through GMOs. You're killing us through medication.
Lord.
You're killing us
Well,
through.
don't-
Oh, why you saying, "Oh
Lord,
Lord"?
man.
That's part of killing you.
Don't eat the GMO.
Oh, man.
Back in a moment. So again, welcome to YouTube Live. Thank you for being with me. Chris says, Jesse, you are changing men's lives straight across race lines. It's such a miracle to hear a black man of stature tell the truth about what white people are going through. You're welcome, Chris. I'm talking to Phil. Phil, I want to take some more calls for you here because we're running out of time.
Yeah. Take it.
Eric is from Denver, Colorado, first-time caller. Eric, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Man, you are the greatest newborn American to me in my life. I just discovered you. I was telling your call screener. You are fabulous.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
I mean, I'm a fan now until eternity.
There you go.
Do you, excuse me, young man, do you know by chance Terry Anderson? Do you remember him?
I remember Terry very well. Terry was a good man from South Central LA, a black man. And Terry,
Absolutely.
he fought to keep, until his death, he fought to keep the illegals out of our country. Let me ask my guest, Phil. Phil, do you want the Great White Hope to put a big, beautiful wall around the borders and especially since the illegal aliens are coming in and affecting black people first and foremost by moving into their communities, running the blacks out because they hate black people, taking over the educational system, health care, the jobs away from blacks. Are you in favor of the Great White Hope putting a big, beautiful wall around the border?
I'm in favor of enforcing the laws of existence, and we don't need a wall to do that.
So you don't want the wall around the border?
We broke. We $20 trillion in debt. How are we going to spend 25 billion, right, for a wall?
Whatever it costs. Do you want the wall around the border?
We are broke.
That's not the question. Do you want the wall around the border?
It's not going to fix anything. They got tunnels into the U.S. already.
So is that a yes or no?
It doesn't make sense to spend my tax dollars on the wall when we broke. Spend $25 billion on fixing the communities across the country, the infrastructure, education system, give our teachers raises. There's a lot of things you could do with $25 billion.
Do you want the wall or no?
No, I don't really know. It's a waste of time.
Amazing. So you don't want the wall?
No, I want you to enforce the laws on the books.
So do you care that illegal aliens are affecting blacks first and foremost?
I definitely care that the black community is affected. Sure, I care.
In a negative way. So would the wall prevent that from happening by keeping these people out?
If you would just put the wall up and that's it, just throw the wall, it's not going to stop people from violating the laws on the books. You have to understand, if we would go to, we have a thing called E-Verify. What laws on the book? We have E-Verify. When you hire somebody, if you go to mandatory E-Verify and lock up anybody who's hiring illegals, that will stop a lot of people.
Amazing. Eric, go ahead. You want to make another point. Eric, go ahead, buddy.
Yes, I did, young man. What I wanted to do, because do you know Peter Boyle? He's a great friend of Lou Dobbs on Fox News. But Peter Boyle.
No, I don't know him.
Yes. Well, what I wanted to do, young man, is to collaborate and then correspond to where I could call him to give him your credentials.
Okay.
And you got to be the father or the uncle or godfather of Candace Owens from Turning Point.
Amazing. We're on Newsmax. My show is on Newsmax Monday through Friday, the first hour of the show.
I'm looking right at you right now.
Okay.
I taped it, and I could go back because I got a guest over, and I want to.
Well, let me give you to James, and he'll give you the contact information. All right, hold on. James will take over, my producer. Let me go to Rod out of Lincoln, New Jersey, our first-time caller. Rod, thank you for calling.
Yeah, Jesse, I'm from North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
That whole being racist thing, I never believed in it, and I think black people use that as a crutch.
They do.
And I think because he's blaming himself because he can't get up and do anything for himself. So I really believe that's what his problem is. And by the way, I forgive my mother and my father, and I say the silent prayer every day.
Right on, man. Congratulations.
I found you on the internet, and you changed my life.
Right on.
Yeah, racism don't
Thank
exist,
you, Rod.
you benefit from it,
All
sir.
right, thank you, Jesse.
All right. Most people see black people, and most people don't respect, other cultures don't respect blacks anymore because they are whimpering and whining and begging and blaming. And then you let them in these schools and places on affirmative action, not because they qualify. And then they turn on the white people.
Jesse, you lying. The truth not in you.
I'm lying about what?
You lying about everything you saying. You saying black people as a monolith. Do you have some black people?
Not all, but most.
Okay, but you speaking as black people as in a monolith. Why don't you talk about the black people who are getting into Ivy League universities and getting their
on
education?
Affirmative action.
You cannot get into an Ivy League university on affirmative action alone.
If you're black.
No, you can't.
Yes,
you have to make the scores.
No, not black people.
Jesse,
I have
you
proof.
have to make the scores, Jesse.
I have proof.
You have to make the scores.
Okay.
Those black people are getting. What about all these black kids that's getting
affirmative action
to all the Ivy League schools?
Affirmative action.
And they didn't make the SAT scores to get in.
Blacks are not
They didn't
required.
have the GPA to get in.
They're not required to make
Jesse, are you serious? They don't lower the standard for blacks.
I have proof.
Jesse, no, the Ivy League schools do not lower the standards for blacks.
May I give you the proof?
Give me the proof of how they lower SAT scores, GPA, and everything to get black people specifically in Ivy League schools.
We just did a story on the air traffic control, and according to the story, black people are not required. Well, black people are allowed to cheat on the test, while white people who have earned their way, and some of them are even pilots from the military and things like that, they qualify, they're smart, they are pushed to the side. and along with the Rainbow Push and the Black Pilot Association or something, they have got it set up where black people are allowed to fail the test to get an F in order to get into become air traffic controller and pilots.
Okay, Jesse.
We reported on that this week. And the same thing with the universities.
I don't know about that story, but
And
you
the
did
same-
not.
I'm
But
about
you
to
said
say-
you had a fact.
I'm about to say, hold on.
Go ahead.
And with the universities, the SAT scores from black people does not have to be as high as normal people because they have come to a conclusion that blacks are not capable of working hard and being individuals, studying and earning their way.
It's
And
lying
they
again, y'all.
they turn them in. And then when they let the blacks in, the blacks say, we want a day without whites.
Okay,
I
Jesse,
rest
lying
my
again.
case.
Jesse, you and them alternative facts, and
I
that's
rest
amazing.
my
Now that's amazing.
case.
That's amazing. Now that's amazing. They're alternative facts. I like that, Jesse.
Back in
Love
a
black
moment.
people, Jesse.
I do love them. I cannot believe the second hour has gone by like 90 going north. My show is on Newsmax TV, the first hour of the show, newsmaxtv.com. So if you have, which cable companies, Dave, Joel?
Yeah, AT&T, Uverse, Verizon Fios, DirecTV, Dish Network, Amazon for streaming devices, Amazon Fire Stick for streaming devices, or if you don't have any of these, newsmaxtv.com.
So you can check us out Monday through Friday. All right. You can also go to jlptalk.com. Phil, I really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having me.
They didn't hear you.
Oh, you hear me?
Yeah, it's on now.
Okay, thank you for having me.
And whenever you're in town, let us know.
Oh yeah, I definitely let you know, and you know, based off what you were saying earlier about victim and
Yeah, blacks need to stop being victims.
Well, you
When
know,
I
the
was
thing is,
growing
but
up
we
under
are, but
mentation-
we until we stop being victimized, and yes, I'm a victim too in this system.
But
I'm a
white
victim.
people are
I'm a
not
victim.
victimizing. You had
Because
Obama.
they the colon.
We gave y'all Obama.
Obama didn't do
and y'all
nothing
got
for
worse.
blacks. Obama didn't do nothing for blacks. Actually, now I'm gonna talk about Trump. Can we talk about Trump
The
just 2
great
minutes?
white hope.
2 minutes.
Yes.
Donald Trump is doing more for black people than Obama ever did, and I
Thank you.
appreciate it for it. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it for it, because black people are waking up, and I thank Donald Trump for helping us to wake up. That's what I said.
Oh, and God bless you.
Oh, and one more thing.
That's why I call him the great white hope.
White women benefit more of affirmative action than
Not
blacks.
true.
Yes, it
the
is
white
true.
lesbian women.
Are they white?
Lesbian.
Are
yes.
they white?
White lesbian.
Okay, so white women benefit from affirmative action more than anyone else.
So if black people develop a sense of pride, we wouldn't have all those programs where other people are using them. Because you're right, the white lesbians are getting more benefit, but they use black people in order to get affirmative action. Because black people always, not all, but most, are always women and whining and begging.
Jesse, you know, I can't no more with Jesse. I'm just laughing because we know that's farthest from the truth. Black
No,
people are
everybody
setting
know
up
that.
businesses every day.
White people tell
Black
me that all the
people-
time about you people.
Oh, there you go to you people.
You know what I
Jesse,
mean.
you're black.
Let me ask Ray from
You're
Champaign.
black.
Ray, real fast, you're on with Phil.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Phil. You know, he's talking about how bad the blacks have it here. The Asians come here and do terrifically. They don't break the laws. They go through college and they set up businesses and they get filthy rich.
And then I have
the
babies
bla-
out of wedlock.
And the blacks aren't doing that at all.
You know why?
Why?
Okay, why?
Okay, because the Asian community is segregated from the likes of people like yourself, and unfortunately, we were integrated with you, and then now we got ruined because Jesse
That's amazing.
admits that we were doing better during segregation than we do now.
Amazing.
Jesse admits that.
Well, I worked in the projects. Nobody.
Thank you, Phil. I got to run. So sorry. Back in a moment. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Back in a moment, folks.